Hello everybody, my name is Alan Peterson. I am currently a junior here at UW Stout. I am studying professional communication and emerging media, with an emphasis in technical writing. One day, I hope to go to law school after graduating Stout. Currently, I am looking at enrolling in the University of Hamline School of Law in St. Paul. I am an active member of the Stout Swing Club, as well as Stout Adventures. To begin my interview, in response to the question of my greatest strengths, my three greatest strengths are I am on time, I'm respectful, and I'm professional. However, my greatest weakness is that I have a hard time remembering names of people I first meet. In response to the question of what others would say about me, others would say that I take everything seriously. I know there's a time for work, and I know there's a time for play, but others would say that I leave my informalities at the door when I enter a professional setting. In response to the question of how I adapt to change, I adapt slowly but surely. I find myself needing time to fall into the swing of things and gain a routine. In response to the question of how does a boss get the most out of me, in high school, I was a snowboard instructor at a local ski hill called Buck Hill. My manager got the most out of me because I was available to come in early and stay late on weekends. In response to the question of work that challenged and excited me, I would have to say that in 2007, I started my own business. As an entrepreneur, this was exciting but challenging. It was challenging in the aspect of I had to go out and promote myself to new customers. However, it was very exciting to watch my business grow. Looking back, it was one of the best decisions I ever made. In response to the question of how I benefit from disappointment, as I learned from my mistakes, I'm somebody who I believe I learn more in failure than I do in success. In failure of a situation, I find myself going back to analyze what I did wrong and how I can better myself next time. A time when I was criticized heavily but reacted positively to it was as a snowboard instructor. I was skipping a vital step in a lesson. I was approached by my manager and he mentioned that I need to adapt myself to a younger audience of snowboarders that I was teaching. I changed myself and my teaching skills to adjust to the needs of my younger audience. One thing I would change about myself is I would learn to cook. One adjective that best describes me is the word burning red. Burning red is a compound word, as I am a compound person. When I say burning red, words such as alive, compassionate, and active come to mind. I am an active, compassionate, and alive person. I think burning red very well suits me. In response to the question of how I respond to tough situations, as I work very well under stress, I find myself easily completing deadlines when they are set ahead of time and I am stressed to do my best on them. In response to the question of one customer I worked hardest to please was in high school. I had one client who was very particular on his vehicle he cleaned. I went the extra mile and put the extra time and effort into cleaning his car. After receiving his car back, he was more than thrilled. The extra time and effort I put into cleaning his car was well worth it in the long run, as he's now a repeat customer of mine and has brought me much more business. One thing I would change about my past is I would stay in Boy Scouts to complete my Eagle project. The best class I ever took was 11th grade Mr. Josbach's speech class. In that class, I learned one thing that has stuck with me all these years: standing up straight. Standing up straight has given me an advantage in meeting new people and conducting interviews. One final question of when things are getting dull, how I react to that is I want a career that is always changing and I won't get burned out in. As a lawyer, I hope to actively be engaged in my surroundings. However, when I find an environment becoming dull, I find myself doing one of two things, sometimes both. I find myself cleaning and customizing my workspace, but I also find myself improving on things I can do better. This concludes my interview. Thank you for your time and effort.